Have you ever faced this frustrating situation? You have a subform full of detailed data in one form, and you need exactly one specific row of that data to automatically appear in another form. But no matter what you try, the system won't let you target that row directly. It's a common pain point when dealing with nested subforms. Well, here's the good news. Today I'll show you a smart workaround called single record linkage, which uses an aggregate table to flatten your subform data. With this method, you can automatically pull the exact row you need into your target form, saving time, reducing mistakes, and making your forms work exactly the way you want. We'll walk through this step by step, and by the end, you'll be able to identify a specific subform row, flatten the data into a searchable format, and auto-populate it into another form with zero manual effort. So, what's the actual challenge here? The issue is that subforms contain multiple rows, and by default, the system has no idea which row you actually want. That's why direct data linkage fails in these cases. To solve it, we'll use 3 key steps: identify, flatten, and link. 1. Identify. Add an auxiliary field, number type, to act as a unique row identifier. 2. Flatten. Use an aggregate table to transform the nested subform data into flat rows. 3. Link. Set up data linkage in the target form to pull the exact row. Let's use a practical example. Imagine we have a product model registration form with subform product details and a stock-in registration form where we want to pull specific product information automatically. First, we need to create our 2 forms and add matching auxiliary fields to both. In the product model registration form, you'll have your standard fields like registered at and registered by. Inside your product model details subform, you'll add product name, quality level, and crucially, a number, auxiliary field. Make sure to set its initial value to 0. Now, over in the stock-in registration form, you'll set up similar standard fields. But here, you'll add the number, auxiliary field directly to the main form, again with an initial value of 0. Then, add your product name, quality level, and quantity fields. That auxiliary field is the secret ingredient that will help us match the exact row later on. Next, we're going to flatten that subform data to make everything play nice together. Head over to App Management, Aggregate Tables, and hit New Aggregate Table. For data source, go ahead and select your product model registration form. Name this one Single Record Linkage. Now for the setup. For dimension, add both the product name and quality level subfields. For the metric, set the auxiliary field to number, auxiliary field. And just like that, your aggregate table transforms those nested subform rows into flat, individual records, perfectly prepped and ready to be linked to your other forms. Now, we pull the data into the stock-in registration form. For product name, go to Field Properties, click Option, and choose Data Linkage. In Data Linkage Settings, set the linked form to the single record linkage table we just made. For the condition, set the auxiliary field of the linked form to equal the auxiliary field of the current form. For trigger linkage, choose to show the product name from the product model registration form. Click OK. Now, let's do the quality level. First, set your linked form to that single record linkage table we just created. To make sure we're pulling the right data, you'll need to set a couple of conditions. Match the auxiliary field of the linked form to the auxiliary field of your current form. And, just as importantly, match the product name across both as well. Then, set up the triggered linkage to pull in the quality level from your product model registration. Finally, let's tidy things up with field permissions. Since that auxiliary field is really just our behind-the-scenes tool for internal matching, there's no need for users to ever see it. Head over to Field Properties. Find Field Permissions. Disable View for the auxiliary fields in both of your forms. It keeps the interface clean while the field does its heavy lifting quietly in the background. And that's it. Now, whenever you select a product in your stock-in registration form, the system will automatically pull the corresponding product name and quality level from your subform. This method works for any scenario where you need to auto-populate a specific subform row across forms. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can stay updated on all our future tutorials. And let us know in the comments what feature you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next episode.